Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming, and this is the Walking Dead Negan Spin Off Series. So we're going to talk about some different options for the spin-off series. I do want to just let you guys know, this is not a end-all, be-all stream. I'm not saying this is the only thing that they can potentially do. We're actually going to have several different spin-off topics that are going to come up, but I do want to focus on this one. I know some people are saying, hey, let's do this, let's go forward in time, back in time, flashbacks. There's so many different ways that we can approach this. But we're going to approach it in, and I got some bullet points here, so I'm not just going to come into an argument or a debate without ammunition. But this is Walking Dead Day, so that's what we do. Before we get too far into it, I want to say what's up to Valar, Heller999 Army, Kill Steph, Emmy, Kels, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, patrons, and of course all the super chatters. And I also saw we got a couple more patrons in the house. We got Joyce Andrews, we got Tegan, we got Crystal the Singer Chick, brand new sponsor / member. You guys can check out the green type there. You get emojis and a few other things. Patrons get to participate in some offline surveys. The channel is growing beyond control, and you guys are making it happen. Thank you so much. So I'm going to jump into this. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you guys had fun on Freestyle Friday. That was an absolute blast. One of my new favorite shows. If you guys have not had a chance to listen to the video from Friday night, it started out as a Michonne Murders Oceanside topic, and then it just, in Freestyle Fridays, we're going to shift it up, change it up by topic, and it just becomes like chaos. So a lot of fun. Also, throughout the day, and then I'll get into today's topic, but I do have to let you guys know what's going on today. 2 o'clock, we will do a comic book premiere reading here, so get over here and check that out. Also, 4 o'clock on our sister channel, the 999 Dead, we're going to do extended spoilers. So we're not talking spoilers here. We're going to keep that on a specific channel. So if you guys want to get into spoiler chat, if you already heard it, then get over there at 4 o'clock. Then at 8 o'clock tonight, we got our Walking Dead countdown. That's like our tailgate party, but tonight, we're going to give away some goods. Steph the Cuervo Queen has some Walking Dead merchandise, and that is going to be a giveaway, and it'll pertain to something that I've talked about in one of these videos the last few days. So you're going to have to do your homework and do your research if you want to be involved in that giveaway. But otherwise, still show up because we're going to hang out. And, of course, at 10:10 tonight, we're going to do probably, it used to be my first favorite, but Freestyle Fridays might be up there. But the reaction video, we have a ton of fun on the reaction video, and it's good to have everybody back right here on the 999 Gaming channel. I missed you guys here. I mean, we've been on Dead, we've been on Army, we've been all over the place, but this does feel, I got to be honest, feels a little bit more like home in this neck of the woods. All right, so I use the word need specifically. Negan Spin Off Series is what the fans need, and I'll tell you why. And feel free to debate this and talk about it, because I've seen, we need to get over to Europe, we need to get into another place. Certainly, that feels good, but this is just me, maybe. I don't know that I want to go through a past event. If that's the direction they go, and let's say we just go up to Canada, and I love you guys up in Canada, but I'd love to be in Canada, but I don't know that I want to see the Walking Dead story start over again. You go over in Europe, don't know that I want to see the Walking Dead story start over again. You go to Asia, you go to Australia, I know the story at this point and the way it spreads and that type of event. So if they do go to a different area, I want to see it more current. I want to see it more involved, not starting over the zombie apocalypse again and again and again. I don't know that fans are going to readily jump on that. Now, from a regional standpoint, yes. If you're in that region, they start filming your area, it's going to be like, yeah, they're filming over here in the UK. We like that. But are you going to like the story? This is why I think Negan needs to be a part of it. Now, if you want to take Rick over to the UK and you want to have Negan trying to redeem himself and part of that picture, at that point, I might be a little bit more interested in it. Let me tell you why. I've got a ton of bullet points here. Fear the Walking Dead was nice, and then it got repetitive. But when they brought Morgan back and spiced it up with Morgan and some new characters, it got my interest back. And now they're going to bring Dwight over there. It's really got my interest back. You see what they're doing? They're bringing this name recognition. So if you're going to start a new series, I think they learned from the past that you need some brand recognition there. And Negan is a pretty big brand. We got Whisperer Zeta says, I think the spinoff will be about the governor, to be honest. It could be, whispers Ada. But is it going to compete? I'm going to just throw it out there for you right now. If you had a 5-6 episode miniseries about the governor, would you watch? But if you had a miniseries about the governor and you know it was going to be 3, 4, 5 seasons, be honest with me. Would you guys be really, really interested in a governor series? I mean, first of all, we hated the hell out of him. So are you going to follow a governor spinoff series if it becomes a brand new series? I wouldn't. I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. If it's a few episodes, yeah, I'm going to watch it. But if you're like the rise of the governor and then we know the dark point he got to before he was killed, nah, I'm not going to do it. So when we throw these ideas out there, not only do we need to throw the ideas out there, we got to think mainstream, like what are people really going to watch? Najee Watts says, I personally don't want a show for a dead character. Najee, I agree with that as well. I don't either. If it is going to be a series, a spin-off series, not just one of these little, mini-series, it's going to be a few episodes. All right, you give me a few episodes of Glenn, Abraham, Negan flashback, governor. I'm right there with you. Would love it. But if you're talking about something that you're potentially looking at 4, 5, 6, Najee, I agree. I agree 100%. Because we already know the way that ends. A future episode, yes. We talked about this a little bit the other night. Could I see simultaneously somebody like Judith involved in The Walking Dead, where she's at right now, 10, 11 years old, and then maybe a Judith spinoff in the future that they've survived it and they've moved to a different area? Certainly. Maybe Judith went to find her dad. Absolutely. Still out there looking. But this is why I think Negan would be a quality spinoff series, having his own series. Let me tell you why. Negan has a lot of fans. But even the Negan fans, it doesn't have to be along the line of the comics because we know that Rick is gone. Even many of the Negan fans don't really like the way he blends into the current show because we argue this and we speculate it, right? Is Negan going to be a leader? Is he going to be good? Is he going to be bad? How does he fit in with Daryl? Is Daryl going to accept him? Is he ever going to have Lucille again? If he has Lucille, how many characters don't like that? And how many of us viewers don't like that? There's a lot of problems with Negan being on this TV show. As much as we like him, not everybody's going to like him. But if Negan were to finish this little Wild West journey that he started embarking upon, we saw a piece of it, right? He got out of jail. He went through the motions. He went to Sanctuary, nothing for him there. Goes back to jail. Maybe there is nothing for him on The Walking Dead after the Whisperer War. Remember, they got options with this. I'm going to jump over to the super chat because we got Whisper Zeta. Another theory I have is the Commonwealth could be the main story of the new spinoff. It absolutely could. And Zeta, and we'll talk about that in a future spinoff stream. But the reason I don't think that'll be a spinoff is because I think that that's going to tie into the main show. I think that's going to be their next big thing for season 11. And then someone brought up, and some of it isn't joking, like, well, why not a Daryl spinoff? Because Daryl owns the show. Daryl is the star of The Walking Dead. And as Michonne leaves, Maggie probably won't come back. If she does come back, it might even be recast. We don't know. But I think it's Daryl and Carol's gig at this point. Would you guys agree? Mostly Daryl and Carol? They're signed for 3 years. If Michonne was sticking around, yes. But somebody brought up the other day, they said, and I did have to stop and pause with this, and they said, you know what? Negan's in jail. His story's getting a little tired. He needs to end up on a pike. And I was like, oh, It's like sucked all the air out of me. But there's people that feel like that. But I don't know that they would feel like that if Negan had a different agenda. And you know what? You could make him a savior. You could have the rebirth of the saviors if you want to go in that direction. But just give him his own arc. Give him his own story. Push him in a different direction. Because at this point, we are kind of changing our standards and our expectations. We are kind of forgiving him for that brutality. Look, I know they did it in the comic. I get it. But the TV show has a much, much more lasting effect in my mind. And Tammy, that's kind of my point. If you can't kill Negan, and you can't leave him locked up in jail, and you can't force people to like him, case in point. Steph, how do you feel about Negan? Just give us your honest, unfiltered opinion. Do we even need to wait for that one? The TV, absolutely. Creepy. The TV's still very, very much an open book. And if anything, what we know, you can't force a character on the audience. It either happens organically or it doesn't. I do think that there is a nice there's a nice story that could be told between Judith and Negan. But I don't know that the fans, all of the fans wholeheartedly are going to embrace that story. Jason Reed, spinoff idea, Alexandria, near future. Daryl or Negan takes a caravan of fighters and survivors up north to find people to lead back to Alexandria. So, Jason, I think that's a great spinoff idea. But let me give you a little bit more value, and I'm right there with you. Maybe Negan does not just take a group of fighters up north. How many people potentially know that Rick Grimes could be alive? Think about this for a second. Because not only is that a positive for the movie, but I think that's a negative for the TV show. The TV show is never going to reach its new capacity as long as people are always holding on to hope that Rick's going to come back on the TV show. It's not going to happen. Keezy, Daryl and Michonne have no clue that Rick could be alive. Currently, there's only two that potentially could have information that Rick didn't die. Think hard about this one, because this ties into my spinoff idea. Negan and Father G, exactly. That secret is confined to two people at this moment. Now, I'm going to tell you what they can do to make sure that that secret dies or becomes a focal point of a spinoff series. Steph the Cuervo Queen, super chatting it up. Steph says, he's the perfect villain. Keep him that way. There has to be bad so there can be good. And I think Steph raises an excellent point. I don't think the Walking Dead audience wants to see Negan villain part 2. After all the effort they went through to trust him. It's going to be a problem having him be a part of any activity that the fans on the core franchise hate. You just can't make him hate it again, in my opinion. So, if two people saw the helicopter. Negan and Father G. And if Father G potentially gets a pike, still rumored at this point, but there's thoughts that could happen. The only person that has knowledge of that helicopter is Negan. Now, instead of the core franchise always looking over their shoulder saying Negan's going to come back, he's going to come back, how many people would be interested and just curious? As I said, we got multiple ideas. If you dangle the Rick Grimes carrot out there and Negan knows about the helicopter and Negan doesn't fit in here, would there be some interest in Negan leaving to look for Rick Grimes? Maybe he could bring a group of people, could run into new adventures, could wield Lucille. Hey, it's his TV show. He can walk around with whatever he wants to walk around with. Beat people down. And just always have that carrot out there where wherever it went, Negan is out to find him. Just wondering, some of the people that say no, you mean no, like you wouldn't watch that? You would watch Fear the Walking Dead before you'd watch that? I'm curious. Because I'm watching it. I would definitely watch that before I'd watch a Governor miniseries. Or I would watch it before I see how the zombie virus spread through Japan. I've already seen it spread through Georgia. I've seen it spread through California. I've seen it spread through Mexico. I don't need to see it spread through Sweden or Australia. But instead of ignoring the idea of Rick Grimes, actually embracing the idea of Rick Grimes. Now, as long as they keep that carrot out there on the main show with Daryl, it's going to be a distraction. But if a spinoff was specifically geared toward Negan's journey, Negan's path, Negan putting a group of people together to go track Rick Grimes down, that's his meaning, that's his quest. Because right now, Negan has no quest. He's got no direction. He's just sitting in a jail cell. They're wasting him. They've wasted him for half this season. He better do some big things in the Whisperer War. But even after the Whisperer War, what's next? Half the audience is not going to accept him back. It's going to be uncomfortable. They're always going to be looking over their shoulder, not trusting him. And as long as he's on the show, there's always that seed that's planted of he knows something about Rick. This is why I would push it to a separate series. I'm going to get back to character recognition. Alec Laura wants to see the dog's backstory. We can write that for you, Alec. Just joking. Loves Negan. Now, I'm going to give another alternative. I can challenge you, not for your personal self-interest, which is going to be a little tough because people, they speak from their heart. They speak from their own wants and needs. The challenge is to find something that would appeal to everybody in this room. And I don't think it's possible. If you give me an option between Negan and the Governor from an interest or from a story, well, I'm going to pick Negan. One, I find him more interesting. Number two, he's still alive. You give me a story between Abraham and Glenn and Negan, I'm taking Negan because Negan's still alive. I think there's more that can be done there. Just as a follow-up, just kind of curious. If you had a choice between a Negan spinoff or a Maggie spinoff, Leave your comments in chat right now. Maggie or Negan, what would you guys rather see? You can see the screen lighting up. And I would say, in most cases, you guys can see, it's probably 90%. Now, you're never going to find something that appeals to everybody. And in fact, some of the people that would not watch a Negan spinoff, okay, let me ask this. I'll get an answer to my question. Of the people, so look, only a small percentage of our audience is going to watch because we had a couple hundred people. So I'm only hoping to get answers from about 10 or 15 people. Rest of us, just kind of pause for a second if you could, because I want to get a little bit more insight. Of the people that say no to a Negan spinoff, is it because A, the show needs him and you like him that much on the show, or B, you don't like Negan and you just prefer they kill him off altogether? So because you like him so much that The Walking Dead needs his story, or B, you don't like him at all, you're not interested in him, and he just needs to die. Okay, now some of the people said A. Don't want to see a Negan spinoff series because he's too valuable on the show. I get it. I get that. Now, would you agree he has not been very valuable this season? Would that be a fair assessment? So far, yes. Okay, fair enough. Hasn't been very valuable, been locked in a cell, not a lot of story around him. This is kind of a loaded question. Would you also agree that so far this has been one of the best seasons of The Walking Dead? Now you got to think about it. Now you see what I just did there? So you're planning Negan staying on the show based on what you think Negan's going to do, not what Negan has already done. I get it. Okay. So you kind of made my point for me. Negan has not been a focal point of the show this season. He's been wasted in a jail cell. The show certainly does not need him at this level. And if the story was entertaining, they could certainly build something around him. Because the struggle is going to be, Negan is not the star of the show. And admittedly, you have to understand, the show does not work if Daryl and Negan, Daryl being the star of the show, Carol being the star of the show, if Negan does not have some major redemptive quality with everybody on the show, it's going to be tough. And we haven't even tried that yet. We haven't even got there. Look, the dynamic with Judith, that's easy. Got a good relationship with Judy. It works on camera. But we've not seen Daryl and Negan yet. We've not seen Carol and Negan yet. We've not seen maybe a vicious Carol after Ezekiel gets killed. We can't just assume that that's going to go over smoothly because the writers thought that Negan beating down Glenn was going to be easily forgotten, and it's not. So just because we may think we need him or think that we want it to happen doesn't mean it's going to be widely accepted. And in fact, there's going to be a lot of people saying, I can't believe they made that work on television. How can they just forgive him? Would you agree? I am going full lawyer mode. Would you agree at this point in the show, Negan is an outcast? Is that a fair assessment? Hardly anybody likes him. Locked up. Killed without mercy. Put his own interest first. Lost everybody. He's an outcast. Was Morgan an outcast? Scott Kernan, I'm going to sit in Talking Dead audience today. Scott, you better get up and ask a question, and you better say, I'm Scott Kernan from the 999 Army. That's what I want to see. Loving that. Morgan was an outcast. Could we agree on that? What happened to Morgan? How about Dwight? Okay, maybe Morgan gives you some middle ground. Can we agree that Dwight was an outcast? Okay, maybe you guys can remind me now. What happened with Dwight again? Oh, wait a minute. Dwight left. He went to another show. Okay, I get it. Who made Dwight an outcast? Who told Dwight, I don't care if you are sorry, I'm going to kill some bitch? Who was that? Maybe I might be suffering from a little bit of amnesia here. You guys help me out with that one. That Daryl? Okay. Here's a follow-up question. Who just signed a 3-year contract? Who's the star of the show? Wait, that's Daryl too. So Daryl would not forgive Dwight for accidentally shooting Denise, but Daryl will forgive Negan for beating down Glenn and Abraham and feeding him dog food sandwiches and making him listen to Easy Street. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Yeah, it's easy. We'll just make that happen. To me, it would be easier to write him off the show at some point. You got Daryl. You got Carol. You're either always going to be showing Negan on an adventure, Negan at a different area, Negan. I don't see Negan out of jail. Steph, let me ask Steph this question. Steph, if Alexandria falls, Michonne leaves, the kingdom gets destroyed during the Red Fair, it snows, everybody moves up to Hilltop, Negan moves up to Hilltop. Steph, are you leaving your door unlocked at night? And just letting Negan roam around through the fields? Or are you always going to be like locking the windows, locking the door? Just curious. Okay. Your Honor, the prosecution rests. I make my case. The Negan Spin Off Series is what the fans need. It may not be what we want. It may not be the best idea that's out there. But you can't kill him. You can't kill Jeffrey Dean Morgan. But you might not be able to write him into the show the way we want it to. And that's what I'm kind of interested to see. I know he's going to do some great things. I know he might kill Alpha. He might save the communities. But I just don't know that Daryl is going to be able to get over it, and I don't know that the fans are going to be able to get over it as well. Got another super chat up here. So we got 28 days. Says, who would win a fight, the governor or Negan? Also, Ryan Hurst, baby. Where are my Sons of Anarchy fans? All right, where are the beta fans? I'm sure there are some beta fans. How many people are big beta fans? Like really hyped up, really psyched up about beta? Yeah, beta in the house. I see it. Okay, well, thank you for that super chat. I'm also going to say that maybe some of those beta fans might like to see a little bit of evil Negan on his own, doing his own thing. I just don't know that he can do it on the show again. I think he needs latitude. I think he needs a different story. And I'm going to make the case The Walking Dead Negan Spin Off Series is exactly what the show needs. All right, everybody, I want to thank you guys for being here and participating in the debate. We have a lot of fun with these. We're at 30 minutes, so we are going to wind it down. Rest assured, this will not be the only argument we make. Psych! You guys are like, Kills needs this. No, I don't. Just want to throw some ideas out there and make the case. I like to make the case for both. We are going to talk about some different scenarios and how they could go into it. And I think each scenario is going to have its own challenge. It's going to have things that the fans want to see, things that the fans might not be able to get over. But I'm very interested in how that all plays because I love the challenge of the writers to do their own thing. Also, you guys, do me a big favor. Let's hope Scott gets chosen tonight. And Scott, I'm telling you, stand up there. You give the 99 Army an extreme shout out. Talk about the Red Fair. And if you get up there, say, hey, this is Scott from the 999 Army. I just want to ask the question about the Walking Dead Red Fair. All right, everybody do me a favor. Hashtag TWD Red Fair. Make sure you share it. Get the word out there. It is going to continue to happen. You guys join me here at 2 o'clock. We're going to do a comic book read. We're on 119. A lot of action in that one today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also at 4 o'clock over on the 999 Dead channel, we're going to talk spoilers. So that way people just got to get it out there. We will. At 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to be here with our Walking Dead countdown. So Steph will be doing a giveaway. And also at 10:10, we're going to be doing our reaction video. Everybody make sure to pike that like button too if you're having a good time. And if you guys get a chance, check out our Walking Dead 999 Army page. And if a few people could hang around for outtakes, I got to do a quick poll, a quick survey. If a couple of you guys want to hang out, maybe 30, 40, 50, 60 people. For those of you watching, the video is over. The stream is over. For a couple people, we're going to hang out for a couple minutes. Just have a question for a few people, that's all. Thanks, everybody. We will see you at 2 o'clock and then at 4 o'clock. All right. For those of you that are still here, if you guys could do me a favor, because I don't need you to kind of, if you want to volunteer what type of device you're on, but I don't want you guys to think I'm like trying to get into your device and hacking. But I've had several people that have asked me about becoming a member or a sponsor. And when I'm streaming on a computer, it's easy for me to find the information. You guys can see the people listed in green. You got Villar, you got Wilson, Pete D, Crystal Singer Chick was able to find it. So in doing my research, it appears that iOS devices will not let you see the button, but if you join from a computer or a laptop, then after you join from a computer or laptop, then you can do the custom emojis and everything else. So if you guys are on a computer or if you guys are on a device, the question I have for each of you is, how many people see a green join button right now? If you do, just type yes. I'm not asking you to join. If you want to, then yes, we'd love to have you do it. But I'm not trying to pressure you into doing it. I really don't know why some people are having trouble finding the membership button. So if you see the join button, give me a Y. And if you don't, just type nope. Because I want to get to the bottom of this because there's at least 10 people that have messaged me trying to find this. And if you don't see it, then what I'm trying to do is find out why you can't see it. Okay. For those of you not on iOS, do me a favor, don't super chat it. But those of you that see the dollar symbol, if you hit the dollar symbol, does it say join on 999 Gaming? Or I'm sorry, scratch that. Does it say join on YouTube Gaming? Okay. If you hit that, okay, for some people that just have the $, you're probably on iOS devices. For those on Android and some on laptops, if you click that button, it'll take you to YouTube Gaming. You can click on that button safely. That's not going to cost you anything. Those of you brave enough to do it, if you do that, does it now give you a green join button, or does it give you a pop-up that says support 999 Gaming? So I think the way it works out, yes, Super Chat is different. So one option is Super Chat, but then for those that are not on iOS devices, it should give you an option to watch on YouTube Gaming, which is kind of like another server, not just YouTube. And then once you hit that, it should pop up and say show support for 999 Gaming, like $4.99 or something like that. Okay. All right. That's the issue as far as I know. So a lot of people on iOS devices, on iPhones and on iPads, they can't do it. But the people that really want to become members, I think what you have to do is you're going to have to watch one of these streams on a computer and then do it that way. You'll have to hit the $, and then you're going to have to join on YouTube Gaming, and then you're going to have to go in, and then the green join button will pop up. Yeah, it's all over the place. All right. Hey, I want to thank you guys. I appreciate you guys doing that. That does help me out a little bit more. And that's the answer that I'm going to give to some other people, is just log onto a computer, and as long as you're on a computer, then you can join. Once you join, then you should be able to see it on your Android devices, your Apple devices, and everything else. All right. Hey, thanks, everybody. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're going to be doing the comic. Yeah, Liz, and that's what it is. Some people only see Super Chat, but I have some people asking about memberships and how they can get custom emojis and the other stuff, and I was just kind of at a loss, so I appreciate you guys helping me out with that. Thanks for everything that you guys do. I will be back here hanging out. The comic book read is already done, so if you guys have not been a part of a premiere, then make sure to kind of chill with us. We're going to be doing streams all day long. It'll be 5 total today. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks, everybody. Peace.